Long time ago, before cars and radios entered the world, there was a village called Obodo Idu. It was a peaceful place, full of laughter, palm trees, and red earth roads that glowed under the sun. The people there feared their gods and honored their ancestors. They farmed cassava and yam, fetched water from the river, and told stories every moon night. Among the children of that village was a girl named Nkiruka, daughter of Obioma the carver and his wife Adaku. From the day she could hold a stick, Nkiruka loved to draw. She would draw on the ground with broom straw, on clay pots with bits of charcoal, even on her father's wooden carvings when he was not looking. Her drawings looked so real that people would laugh and say, "This girl's hand is magic." Nobody knew how true those words were. Nkiruka mostly stayed with her grandmother, Mama Ngozi, an old woman who loved to tell moonlight stories. Each night, when the air was cool and the crickets sang, Mama Ngozi would sit by the fire and say, "Come, my child, let me tell you about the spirits that live in the hills." She told of Muakaike, the spirit with many arms, of Ekwensu, the deceiver, of Ogbanje, the restless soul. Nkiruka listened with wide eyes. "Mama," she would whisper, "I can see them in my mind. I will draw them so people can see too." Mama Ngozi would shake her head. "My child, some things are not for drawing. Spirits do not like when humans make their faces." But Nkiruka only smiled. She was innocent. She did not know that imagination can open doors that should stay closed. One sunny morning, when her parents went to the farm, Nkiruka sat behind their hut with a flat piece of bark and a burnt stick. She started drawing the spirit from her dream. Tall, with crooked legs and long fingers like tree roots, she called it Okpusi, the night watcher. When she finished, she left the bark to dry and went to fetch water. When she came back, the bark was empty. The drawing had vanished. Only small footprints like those of a goat, but sharper, marked the dust. She blinked. "Maybe the rain washed it," she murmured, though there was no rain. She drew again the next day, and again the picture disappeared. She thought maybe the charcoal was bad. But soon, strange things started happening in Obodo Idu. At night, dogs barked at shadows. Fowls screamed and ran in circles until they died. One evening, Eziaku the hunter went to check his traps and never came back. People found only his cap and blood marks near the forest path. The villagers began to whisper. "Maybe the spirits are angry," they said. The priest, Dibia Uzo, offered sacrifices, but the fear remained. Nkiruka heard the talk and became afraid too, but she never thought the trouble had anything to do with her missing drawings. She was just a young girl who loved pictures. One evening, she drew again, this time a creature with 2 mouths and 1 eye. When she woke up in the morning, she saw the same small footprints on her floor, leading to the door. The paper was blank, clean like new. Her stomach turned. She told Mama Ngozi, "Mama, something is eating my drawings." The old woman laughed softly. "Maybe rats are chewing the papers." But deep inside, Mama Ngozi felt uneasy. She sprinkled ash and salt around the hut that night, whispering old prayers. Weeks later, the sky turned red one evening as the sun fell. A young farmer named Ifeani was walking home from his farm when he saw Nkiruka sitting under a tree, drawing with all her heart. He stopped, smiling. "Ah, Nkiruka, you and your pictures again." She looked up shyly. "Yes, uncle, see this one."
She showed him a paper where a horned creature with a long tail crawled from fire. "I saw it in my dream," she said. Ifeanyi laughed. "Dream spirits, you and Mama Ngozi's stories will not kill me." He waved goodbye and went home. That night, while he slept, a heavy wind broke through his door. He awoke and saw red eyes shining in the dark, eyes exactly like the one on Nkiruka's drawing. The creature's breath smelled of fire and rotten yam. Ifeanyi jumped from his bed and ran through the back window, shouting, "Jesus, Jesus," until he reached Chief Nana's compound. When men gathered with torches, they found his hut torn and burnt, but no animal in sight. By morning, Ifeanyi's story spread through the whole village like Hamatan fire. People said he saw the same monster that small Nkiruka drew. She must be a witch. At first, Obioma refused to believe it. "My daughter, never." But when he entered her room and saw papers scattered, all blank, and small footprints on the floor, his heart began to shake. Soon, no one wanted Nkiruka near their homes. Children ran when they saw her. Market women stopped talking when she passed. Even her friends from the stream refused to fetch water with her. One evening, as she walked to the shrine square, someone threw sand at her and shouted, "Witch!" Others joined, screaming, "She is the reason our hunters die. She is feeding demons." Tears filled Nkiruka's eyes. "I did not do anything," she cried. "I only draw." Her mother pulled her home weeping. That night, Obioma sat silent by the fire. "What if they are right?" he whispered. "What if her hand is cursed?" Mama Ngozi struck the ground with her stick. "Nonsense! She is only a child. The gods test us, that's all." But inside her heart, even the old woman began to fear.
After that night, Enkiruka stopped sleeping well. Each time she closed her eyes, she dreamed of smoke and faces crying. She saw her own hands drawing fast, faster than she could control. Sometimes she woke up to find charcoal stains on her fingers, though she had not touched anything. One afternoon, she tried to burn her papers. She lit them behind the hut, but the fire refused to catch. The charcoal marks shone bright like eyes watching her. She screamed and ran away. Obioma called the priest, Dibia Uzo. The priest looked at her palms, shook his head, and said softly, "There is power here, but it is not from this world. Keep her away from charcoal and ink." He gave them holy water and left. For some weeks things calmed down, but one night thunder rolled without rain and smoke came from the forest. In the morning, hunters found the path covered with strange signs drawn in black. They also found goat bones arranged in circles. Fear gripped the whole village again. People began to meet at Chief Nanana's compound, whispering, "We must send that girl away before all of us die." Obioma begged them, "Give me time, I will take her to another priest." But no one listened. At dawn the next day, men came to their hut with sticks and fire. "Bring the witch out," they shouted. Adaku held her daughter tight, crying. Mama Ngozi stood in front of the men. "If you touch her, the gods will judge you," she warned. But the crowd's anger was stronger than fear. Finally, Chief Nanana said, "Let them go. Let her carry her curse away from us." So Obioma, Adaku, and Mama Ngozi led Enkiruka to the edge of Ala Uto Forest. Birds refused to sing there. Even the wind was quiet. They left her small food and a mat. Mama Ngozi kissed her forehead. "My child, wherever you go, remember your heart is still good. Don't draw again, please." Enkiruka nodded, crying. She walked into the forest alone. For many days she wandered. She ate fruits, drank from streams, and slept under trees. But loneliness hurt more than hunger. She missed her grandmother's stories, her mother's songs. She often sat and talked to herself. Why do they hate me? I did nothing wrong. One night she found a smooth rock shining in moonlight. She thought of her drawings, the only thing that ever made her happy. She whispered, maybe I can draw something good, a spirit that will protect them, then they will forgive me. She picked a burnt stick from an old fire and began to draw. The moonlight touched her tears as she worked. She drew wings, light, and strong arms, a guardian. She prayed, let this one be good. Let it fight whatever is killing my people. When she finished, she smiled weakly and fell asleep beside the rock. But the night was not peaceful. The air became thick, the trees trembled. From the rock rose a shadow, tall and burning. Its body looked like fire and smoke joined together. Its eyes were red like coal. When it spoke, the ground shook. I am Obibazu, the sleepless flame, it said. You called me, child of dust. Enkiruka woke with a scream. No, you are not what I drew. The creature laughed, a sound like cracking wood. You wished for a spirit to fight. I will fight. I will fight everything. Before she could run, Obibazu disappeared into the forest, leaving the trees smoking behind him. Nkiruka fell on her knees, shaking. What have I done again? She did not yet know that the creature was already heading toward Obodo Idu. The night Obibazu was born, the moon hid behind thick clouds. In Obodo Idu, people woke to a smell like burnt palm oil floating from the forest. Dogs barked and refused to stop. Some said, maybe lightning struck the tall Iloko, but even the oldest men had never felt such heat in the air. By morning, smoke curled above the trees. Chief Nana sent hunters to check. Only one man returned before sunset. His eyes were wide, his voice shaking. Something walks in the forest, he said. It burns without flame. Everything it touches turns black. After that, he fainted. Fear swallowed the village again. Mothers gathered their children indoors. Fathers sharpened machetes, though they knew blades could not fight spirits. At dusk, the ground began to tremble. From the forest edge, a red glow rose like another sun. People ran to the square. Then they saw him, tall as the shrine roof, body of smoke and fire, eyes like two burning coconuts. Obibazu had come. He walked slowly, each step shaking the huts. Palms caught fire without touching his hands. Goats screamed, roofs fell. The air became too hot to breathe. Dibia Uzun, the priest, lifted his staff and shouted, "By the power of Chukwu, stop!" But Obibazu only turned and blew a breath of flame. The priest and his shrine melted into ash. Men ran, women cried. The river beside the village boiled until the fish floated dead. It was as if the whole land had become a mouth of fire.
Far away, Nkiruka felt the earth shake beneath her mat. A voice whispered in her mind, "Look what your hand has drawn." She jumped up and ran toward the smoke. Branches cut her arms, thorns tore her feet, but she kept running. When she reached Obodo Idu, only half the huts still stood. The sky was red. People were running everywhere, calling the names of their children. She saw her father, Obioma, throwing water on their roof, though the water turned to steam before it touched the thatch. Her mother, Adaku, was on the ground, crying. "Mama! Papa!" Nkiruka shouted. They turned. Fear crossed their faces, not for the fire, but for her. Obioma's voice cracked. "Nkiruka, what have you done?" Tears burned her cheeks. "I wanted to help. I wanted to draw something to protect us."
Before they could speak again, a heavy wind pushed through the square. Obibazu arose behind the huts like a mountain of smoke. His eyes met hers. "Creator, you called me. I have answered." Mama Ngozi, though weak and coughing from the smoke, walked into the open space holding her walking stick. "Spirit, leave this place. The child did not mean to wake you." Obibazu laughed, a deep, cracking laugh. "Ha ha 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 ha. Meaning does not matter. What is drawn must live, and what lives must feed." He raised one fiery arm toward the crowd. The air shimmered. Roofs burst. People fell. Enkiruka screamed, "Stop!" and ran in front of him. "If you came from me, then take me and leave them." The demon looked at her for a long moment. "You think your life can close the door you opened?" he said. "No, little dream hand. Only your hand itself can end it." Then he struck the ground. Fire spread in lines, forming strange marks, the same marks Nkiruka always saw on her floor when her drawings disappeared.
Something inside her mind broke open. She suddenly understood. Her power was not in the paper, but in her blood. She grabbed a burnt stick lying nearby, dipped it in her own blood where a thorn had cut her, and began to draw quickly on the ground. The smoke around her swirled. The ground hissed. "If drawing brought you out," she said, "drawing will send you back." Obibazu roared, "You cannot cage fire." Still she drew, circles, lines, shapes she barely understood. Her grandmother's voice echoed in her head. "Some things are not for the eyes of man." She finished the last line and pressed her palms on it. For one heartbeat, silence. Then light exploded from the drawing, brighter than the sun. It swallowed both her and the demon. When morning came, Obodo Idu was gone. Where huts had stood, there was only black earth. The few villagers who had escaped to the hills came down slowly, weeping. They found no bodies, only ashes and stones with faint drawings burned into them, faces that seemed to blink when the wind blew. Among the ruins lay Nkiruka's necklace of cowries, half melted. Mama Ngozi, who had somehow survived, picked it up with shaking hands. "My child," she whispered, "may your spirit find peace." Then she looked around the empty land. "And may no one ever draw what should not be drawn again." After that day, no one lived in Obodo Idu. The forest grew over the ashes, and birds refused to sing there. People passing on the road at night said they sometimes saw a red light moving between the trees, or heard a girl's voice saying softly, "I only wanted to help." When the elders tell this story today, they end it with a warning. Draw with a clean heart, and draw only what you understand, for the hand that dreams can also destroy.